What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and welcome back to my second channel, Be For Real Podcast. On this podcast, I will be talking about Ted Bundy, and this will be Ted Bundy Part 2. If you guys do not know who I am, my name is B Octavia. I am 23 years old, and I'm from Washington, D.C. So, to pick up where I left off, I want to talk about Ted Bundy's hate for young women and Ted Bundy's hate for women in general. So, as I stated in the last video, Ted Bundy was brought into this world, told a huge lie. And this huge lie, I feel like for the times, maybe a lot of families were doing things like this, but it never ends well, especially when the child realizes the truth. But he was told that his grandmother was his real mother. That was his first real view of a woman. That was his first real example of a woman that he had. And sure, he had his sister, but that's not a woman, you know? And it wasn't a good one. Like I told you guys, she fought with depression and she had agoraphobia. Translating that, she wasn't strong, she wasn't happy, and she wasn't active. And having such negative connotations when it comes to how a child views a person, especially their parent, it can really affect their relationships and how they treat people in the future. So what I mean is, maybe he felt bad for his mother and he really helped take care of her instead of her taking care of him. But as he got older, he resented that he even had to do that, you know. Especially once he had siblings, he realized, okay, like a mother is supposed to get up and do these things, you know, get the child ready, just get out of bed, you know. A mother is supposed to put certain fears aside so that, you know, the child at least has a normal upbringing or something close to normal. So I believe that's where his resentment built as far as the mother figure goes. But you can't forget, he moved away too. So once he moved away and he was now with his birth mother, which he didn't know that at the time, he was still confused. And it's a different confusion because it's, why am I going and staying permanently with my sister, you know? And sure, she might have been a good sister, a provider, whatever, but that's what he viewed her as. So, I'm sure their relationship was very different, you know, because she still wanted it to stay like, I'm your sister, you're my brother. The minute that you take that child away from their home, from their residence, from their parents as they know it, you're going to have to say something about you being the actual birth mother and etc., etc. You can't just let that go on, you know. I don't think that that was right, and that was the first mistake. Well, maybe the first mistake was, you know, her still going on living her life as his sister, you know, and not taking that role as the parent. You are the birth mother. I don't care what the lie is. You still gotta be there. He shouldn't have even been subject to his father/grandfather's rage and all this. You should have had him in daycare or something. I mean, it gotta be something, you know. But moreover, talking about when he moved with his sister, birth mother, he found out in his teens that that was actually his mother. Now, mind you, he didn't really care for his stepfather because, you know, off the rip, him having to be with his mother, he just really wanted it to be him and his mother, or him and his sister rather. I don't mean to confuse y'all, but you know what I mean. So he finds out that his birth mother is his sister. And how does he find out? Well, there are reports that a family member, an actual family member, you know what I'm saying? Like a cousin of his or something, revealed it to him in kind of a harsh way, and he was humiliated. But, I mean, to say that that went down or didn't go down, nobody but the people that was involved can confirm that. So, we'll move to the possibility that he came upon his birth certificate, and the mother signed Eleanor Louise Caldwell, which was his sister, and then the father is listed as unknown. Him seeing that for himself, confusion, you're in like it's almost like a Twilight Zone effect. You know what I'm saying? Your birth mother is your sister, and who is the father? Nobody knows, right? So, and mind you. Now, the seduced and abandoned thing could be true. Those could be traits of the actual father of Ted Bundy, because he did the same thing. So the seduced can be changed to raped, and abandoned, yes, you left them to die, or you left them dead in their beds, young women. But because I did say that she could have been lying about that, but at the same time, like, you do get certain things from your father, and he could have possibly liked young girls. Hence, Eleanor Louise, we don't know how old she was, but we can do the math and stuff like that. So, yes, so those could possibly be traits of his father. I wonder. I wish we could figure it out, but, it doesn't really matter. The focus should be on Ted Bundy, and that's where it will stay. So he finds out that his sister is his mother, and that gives him like confusion. He's thinking about a lot. He's analyzing his past, and it becomes a resentment towards his birth mother. They never really had any issues as far as her being a guardian to him, or her taking up that role as a parent, moving him away. He didn't want to be in Seattle or wherever it said, Wisconsin or wherever it said, but he still managed to do it and managed to not make such a fuss about it. But they never really had problems before, but after he confronted her with this lie that he was told so much, he began to hate her. He began to despise her and view her as a liar. And I believe that he just viewed one woman as all women, or both women, his grandmother and his mother, as all women, and he felt like all women were not only liars but stupid, because you can always figure out a lie, or a lie doesn't stay a lie for long. It always comes out either by word of mouth or by your mouth, the liar's mouth. So I believe that that's how he viewed women, and that's how he grew up viewing women, and treating women as if all of them are liars and all of them are stupid. And I'm not going to call all victims of Ted Bundy stupid, because he did some very sick things, including going into the dormitory situation of some young girls and slaughtering them and doing obscene things. They weren't stupid for that, but I feel like his whole motto or his whole MO of appearing to be injured and asking for help from a young woman, you can take one look at him. I could. You could take one look at him and just look at him. It's something that's not right here, you know? And I believe that he thought that they were stupid enough to just keep believing it and keep believing it and keep believing it. He thought that police were stupid enough to not connect dots and figure out who this really could be. It all came to an end April 27th, 1979, thank God, you know, before he went into the 80s and just slaughtered more young women. And sadly, some women played into his sick view by showing up as horny as possible to his trial, to his murder trial, where the parents of these young women, you know, were sitting, and they really wanted to just see him and just, you know, get their little sensation off. I believe it was a whole bunch of LSD and other things going on. It had to be, because come on. You telling me that you don't know, by example of him and what he did, that if he was in a room with just you and him, and he had that opportunity like you want, he would slaughter you. Don't play into his game. You can see it in his eyes, and if you can't see it, you've been sheltered, you know? If you can't see that he's been disturbed, and some of it is rightfully so, because I can't fathom having to process that lie, you know, and being told that so much. I cannot imagine that. But at the same time, his anger was misplaced. You can't be mad at all young women because, number one, your mother was promiscuous and she lied to you, you know, about who she was. I would be mad about that too, because like I told y'all, she wasn't taking up the responsibility 3-4 years in that she needed to. She was still taking up she was still taking up the sister role, and beyond that, it was years after that too, because he found out in his teens. And maybe, you know, I don't like to bring astrology into it, but at the same time, maybe I feel so strongly about what I believe as far as Ted Bundy goes, because he's a Sagittarius. Me being a Sagittarius too, and a lot of, like, you'll be surprised that a lot of shit happened around Sag time. I just feel like I would kind of react the same type of ways, as far as, you know, having that resentment, but you have to place it where it needs to be and leave it there. You can't sit up and kill. First of all, you ain't kill your mother, which you shouldn't do, but you didn't do that, even though that was the person that really fueled the fire for you to become Ted Bundy, the serial killer / rapist. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, it was misplaced, and you have to think about it like, all young women are not promiscuous. All young women, or women in general, are not liars. All young women are not going to just help you if you look defenseless. I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't. Listen, especially if I'm having a long day, you help me. I don't want to help you. That's just how I am, period. You know, I'm not going to help you. No. You look like you got it to me, and I'm going to walk off. I'm not finna come over to your car and do all this and do all that. You know, I feel like he viewed women and how they treated men as, oh, they going to help me because I'm a man. And they just are prone to wanting to be loyal to men. Not all women are like that, you know. And all humans can be killed. You know, not all, because he does have some survivors. There are some survivors of attacks, you know, from Ted Bundy. But, you know, you can't, it's not going to fix anything if that's what you're doing. Because you're not confronting the real problem with the real person that it needs to be handled with. Period. All women did not have a child and let their parents be the parents and they be the siblings. All young women didn't do that. Your mother did that. She could have gave you up for adoption, and maybe that would have turned the tales of time. But who are we to say? Like I said, this could be very hereditary, you know, and just like the anger that he possessed was very hereditary, just like his ability to lie and be manipulative for so long and to so many women was hereditary. His want, desire, and need to kill could have been hereditary as well. We don't really know the past of the grandfather. I mean, that type of temper, you can kill just about anything. You can kill an animal, you know, a fly, and you can kill a person. But it just depends on the length that you're going to go to and the rationalization of you not getting caught. I will have more videos on serial killers, both American and, you know, overseas, whatever, in the near future. I will have reaction videos and just about everything that I want over here. You know, different segments, different things for you guys to watch. And that will be all for this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. It's your girl, B. Octavia. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to yet another video on Be For Real Podcast.